Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I'm Astha Bharadwaj. I'm the go-to-market security specialist in AWS. Currently, I support global financial services customers. Yeah, I have to summarize all these Reinforce updates in 15 minutes, but happy for any follow-ups if needed. Reach out to Randy or myself. I'll quickly start this so that... Yeah, the first, so Chris Betts, who's our AWS CISO, kicked off this Reinforce by the topic of culture of security. I've added the link of this YouTube where you can actually watch the entire video. But let me quickly summarize to, how it went and what were some of the key principles which Chris highlighted as a part of this talk on culture of security. So the key principles which were called out that we really need while we are building a strong culture of security in any organization. The first one was, security is built into our organization structure. And Chris really gave an example on how AWS does it. So I think it was about 8 years ago where, a decision was made that security team, all the Amazon and AWS security team would directly report to the CEO. This structural design that, the structural design that happened, that really helped build our security culture in AWS, which informs everyone at the company level that security is our top it's our top priority by providing, a direct visibility to our senior leadership. The second call out was security is everyone's job. So AWS operates with a strong ownership model, which is built around our leadership principle, and one of our leadership principle is ownership. All AWS employees are in every role receive regular trainings and reinforcement of the message that security is everyone's job. And a call out was made where an example was shared by Chris on how our services team, our product team, are fully responsible for the security of the service or the capability that they deliver. So security is actually built into each and every product that comes out as a roadmap, engineering plan, and we have weekly stand-up meetings just to make sure that there are capabilities, performance, cost, and other core responsibilities of the builder team with security as well. The third call out was distributing security expertise and ownership across AWS. The central AWS security team provides a number of critical capabilities and services that support and enable our engineering and also services team to fulfill the security responsibilities effectively. Now, this team provides, trainings, consultation, threat modeling tools, automated code scanning frameworks and tools as well, automated API test frameworks. In the end, a final security review of each of the new service and feature is done. And the last one was, how do we scale security through innovation? At AWS, we innovate to build tools, processes to help our people to be effective, as effective as possible. And obviously, we use artificial intelligence to accelerate our secure software development process. And we also use Gen AI powered features in some of our key security services like Amazon Inspector, Detective, Config, and Code Whisperer. So I would highly encourage you guys to watch this YouTube link. You will definitely love watching this entire video. I will directly go to all the announcements and new launches that came out at this Reinforce. So for AWS, it is very important for us to secure by design and reinvent on all levels. That's why we start from hardware. And the next two announcements that you're going to see, Graviton 4 and Nitro Enclaves, are around this example only, where we we start from a hardware level. So AWS Graviton 4 is one of the most powerful and energy efficient AWS processors till date, for which can give you a broad range of cloud workloads. In this Reinforce, we announced that Graviton 4 is launching some of the premium security services with no additional cost. Features like full encryption of all high-speed physical hardware interfaces, including DRAM, PCIs to Nitro cards, and dual socket. Also, there is pointer authentication and branch target identification to defend against return-oriented programming and also jump-oriented programming. And then no simultaneous multi-threading at chip level by ensuring that every thread of the execution has its own core. The next announcement is around AWS Nitro Enclaves. AWS Nitro Enclaves basically enables our customers to create isolated compute environments to further protect and secure and process highly sensitive data like their PII data, healthcare, financial, or any intellectual property data within their Amazon EC2 instance. Nitro Enclave use the same Nitro hypervisor technology that provides CPU and memory isolation for EC2 instances. Nitro Enclaves also help customers reduce the attack surface area for their most sensitive data, which I called out earlier, like PII data, etc. Enclave offers an isolated, hardened, and highly constrained environment to host security critical applications. The enclaves also include cryptographic attestation for your software, so you can be sure that only the authorized code is running. As well, its integration with AWS key management service so that your enclaves can have access to sensitive material. Now, with AWS extended to machine learning accelerated hardware, you can encrypt all your sensitive AI data using keys that you have control. And you can store the data at the location of your choice and securely transfer this encrypted data to enclave. This third announcement is personally my favorite. This is one of the most requested features from last couple of years. And this is launched on Guard Duty malware detection. It basically detects any malicious file uploads to selected S3 buckets. So previously, our Guard Duty malware protection provided agentless scanning, capabilities to identify malicious files on Amazon EBS volumes attached to Amazon EC2 and container workloads. Now you constantly can evaluate any new objects that are being uploaded to your S3 buckets for malware and take action to isolate or eliminate any malware that's found on these S3 buckets. It's again it's fully managed by AWS, which allows your S3 administrators to treat all the data transferred from outside parties as untrusted and evaluate data for malicious files before ingestion into any downstream processes. The Guard Duty malware protection is, again, it's an industry-leading malware scanning capabilities, which actually helps you remove some of the heavy lifting of having built and maintain a malware scanning engine internally. The next announcement is around CloudTrail Lake AI-powered natural language querying, which is it is a preview that was launched for generative AI with NLP for AWS CloudTrail Lake, which is a managed data lake for capturing, storing, accessing, and analyzing all your CloudTrail activity logs to meet compliance, security, and operational needs as well. Now you have the capability of basically asking any question in a natural language about the activity logs, like any management or data events stored in a CloudTrail lake, without actually having the technical expertise of SQL query and you don't have to spend time to decode the exact structure of activity events. For example, you can ask a question, tell me how many database instances are deleted without a snapshot. And the feature will convert this question to a CloudTrail Lake query, which you can run or modify to get the requested event information. Now, natural language query generation makes this process of exploration of all the AWS activity logs way simpler. The next one is Security Lake now supports AWS WAF. I think this feature came out last month in May, but Security Lake went GA last year at Reinforce. Uh, but at this Reinforce, we announced that now we are expanding the log coverage for our Amazon Security Lake with Amazon WAF as well. So Security Lake can collect all the logs, events from following services like CloudTrail, management, data events, EKS, audit logs, Route 53, resolver logs, etc. And also it also integrates with our native services like Security Hub, VPC flow logs. But now we are adding the feature of sending all the WAF logs to Amazon Security Lake as well. Once we have all these logs, Security Lake can automatically transform this data into OCSF and Apache format. Now, this enhancement allows you to automatically centralize and normalize your AWS WAF, any web ACL logs in Security Lake, which can help you easily analyze your log data to determine if there is a suspicious IP address that's interacting with your environment, any monitoring trends of denied IP request, or any new exploitation campaigns that you are seeing across, any of the previously blocked hosts. This enables you to also monitor and investigate any potential suspicious activities in your web applications. On the data protection side, we had two announcements on. The first one is on AWS Private CA connector for SCP for mobile devices. So a preview of Private Security Certificate Authority can now be used with your mobile device management solutions that you can use to enroll any of your mobile devices with private certificates at scale through automation. Now, the simple certificate enrollment protocol, which is SCEP, is one of the protocols that's widely adopted by mobile device management solutions, especially for getting digital identity certificates from a CA and enrolling corporate issued and bring your own devices. The next one is for it's a flow diagram basically, which tells how our mobile device MDM can interact with the private CA with help of connectors. This helps in reducing your operational cost, optimizing your PKI as well. This one is around cloud WAN service insertion. Now, today at AWS, we have a lot of third-party security services for firewalls, intrusion detection, and prevention that we add to our AWS cloud that can be, very complex and time-consuming as well. So AWS Cloud WAN service insertion actually makes this deploying of security services easy. The control security and routing policies across your entire global network by editing one central policy document using the AWS Management Console or CLI. Your policies are applied globally in a repeatable and a standardized manner, which reduce the errors and increasing efficiency as well. Now, as your network grows, your management overhead does not, because now it's easy to manage with this particular integrator. AWS Cloud WAN service insertion supports common use cases and architectures, whether you are inspecting any cloud WAN traffic that's flowing between your VPCs, regions, from your premises to a VPC, and from other VPCs to premises to the internet as well. The next announcement was around AWS Firewall Manager now supports VPC NACLs and common NACL policies as well. This definitely brings an exciting opportunity for our customers to implement baselines for protecting any resources as predefined block rules, and that can block certain traffic across multiple accounts. It also helps our customers to centrally manage and apply these policies across multiple accounts. From identity, we have IAM Access Analyzer, which now can send you recommendations to address unused access. The IAM Access Analyzer guides customers towards the least privilege by providing tools to set, verify, and refine your permissions. The central security team can now use your IAM Access Analyzer to gain visibility into any of the unused access across your AWS organization. And then also, automate on how you can right-size some of these permissions. Now, with this new launch of IAM Access Analyzer offering recommendation with actionable guidance, can actually help customers to remediate any unused access highlighted by IAM Access Analyzer. Now, the security teams, which were at one point burdened with a lot of unused resources, can include the step-by-step recommendation provided by the Access Analyzer to guide the developers and simplify and refine the unused permissions. And IAM Access Analyzer also launched custom policy checks. So IAM Access Analyzer custom policy checks is powered by automated reasoning, and this was announced, I think, at reInvent 2023. But this new custom policy check is to ensure that a resource policy update does not grant any sort of public access to the associated resource. And now we have expanded the custom policy check for access grants to ensure access is not granted to specified resources or any particular resource as well. For example, if your team can now integrate some of these custom policy checks into the tools and environment where the developers author their policies, such as their CI/CD pipelines, and developers can then probably create or modify their IAM policy and then commit it onto the code repo.
Hey, Asa,
yeah,
we're just about at the 15-minute mark, so if you could summarize, that would be great.
So this is the last one, the multi-factor authentication. We all know about this, but this IAM feature now supports passkey for the second factor authentication as well. And passkey authentication, helps you achieve the MFA in a single step. I know this was a lot of information, but I've included links for all the breakout sessions. These videos are there on YouTube. Feel free to watch them. If you're interested to dive deep into any of the features in detail, reach out to your AWS folks, reach out to Randy or myself. I'm happy to help.